Hola amigos, it's Will here at Will's Custom Figures coming at you today with a big bad breakdown of Lucha Underground's Muertes and Drago. So please sit back, relax while I talk you through why and how I made these figures and everything else in between. So let's start by why. Well, as you guys know, a very loyal customer of mine, David, he's asked me to capture some of the likenesses of the wrestlers that he loves watching, and man, you can't get much more iconic and standout for a wrestling figure shelf than these two. Oh my god, Lucha Underground, if anyone's not seen it, a bit of a history lesson. It was a fantastic wrestling show that was put out a couple of years ago, and really give a lot of detail and a lot of storytelling in their television show. It's less of a wrestling show, more of like a sort of sci-fi slash sports crazy, soap opera. And on a weekly basis, they'd put out this fantastic show and feature some of these absolutely brilliant characters. So let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's get into the how, the why, and everything else. So this started out as a Jake the Snake. This is Drago, and I was actually given this face sculpt by David to work on, and we would go back as a forward talk about what kind of outfit to use and all of the details. And I've got to admit, this is probably one of my favorite ever figures that I've worked on. I used a material here, sort of a thick carved material, and reinforced it with super glue in between the legs. So you can see this little tunic bit here, also mixture of clay. This is all made out of clay as well. Lots of hand painting, lots of additional little spikes added on using clay and then reinforced using super glue. Still, they can crack, but as is with anything, guys, if you're going to work on something, especially custom art, then there is always a risk there that it could make or break, depending on how creative you want to get. Used a lot of different blues, silvers, and as mentioned, dry brushing to try and bring out all those different effects on Drago. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on his face. You can see this mask is insane. I'm not sure who actually makes these masks and these custom head sculpts, but this is fantastic. I can work on these figures again without this, because I have got my own casting, but I think this is 3D printed and it looks absolutely brilliant. Hopefully you like all the details. I'm so pleased. Like, you see the dragon claws coming around the side here. So pleased with how they've turned out, and still retains a lot of the articulation that you'd want from a Hasbro wrestling figure. They're not known for their articulation like Marvel Legends or Mattel wrestling figures of this day and age. However, for what they are, they're absolutely brilliant. They capture like everything that I would like to see about a wrestler. And Hasbro figures for me are an absolute passion to work with. So let's move over to Mil Muertes, and this guy, wow, I first saw him in TNA wrestling years and years ago, and I think he was called. I may be wrong here. I think he was like a deathly character there, like he come in sort of similar to Undertaker, long dark black hair, Judas, or I can't remember his exact name, but this guy is clearly firing on all cylinders with his career and an absolute beast of a wrestler. As you can see, some really nice paintwork on there. Now, to make this, yet again, used a mixture of clay on top of a hacksaw Jim Duggan body. It was a custom Mil Muertes head sculpt that was sent to me. I used things like cardboard here with super glue, as well as a glue gun to try and add on texture onto these little feathers on the back. There was an old wrestling jacket that I had that I cut up into pieces for this nice bit of material at the back, and as you can see, it flows really well. Really difficult to paint. Used the glue gun on this section here to try and give the impression of like feathers and different textures, and then hand painted all of the tattoos, and an absolute beast of a paint job on this guy. Far more complex actually than even Drago, who hopefully you like. You can see that the mask has detail all the way around it, and these feathers at the back, these dark black feathers, also have lots and lots of details, which I'm extremely proud of. Not an easy sculpture or piece to work with, by any means. Let's just zoom back in. So guys, I have some final reflections on these. A fantastic set of wrestlers. Just going to try and refocus the camera a bit there. I'm very happy with how they've turned out. I think this captures everything that I love about the Lucha Underground Wrestling Show and more. You can see under any light from any angle, these guys look awesome, and I am so pleased with the final product. I really am. So please, if you guys have any questions, if you want to make your own set, I can try and find out how and where these head sculpts were from. But yeah, I love them. I can't get over how good they look, the paint job and everything else. I want to keep them. I don't want to get rid of them, if I'm honest with you. I want to keep them in my collection forever. But man, got to get rid of these as fast as I can pop them out. I'll sell them. I'll keep making them, selling them. And anyone reaches out and wants their own set of these figures, or anybody else that you've seen featured on this page, please get in touch via Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Let me know, and I'll be more than happy to work on a set for you. And please, guys, get in touch if there's any other questions you have. I've absolutely loved filming this video and I've loved working on them. And thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, peace.